Hey guys, Ryan Bachelor here. 12 years ago, in 2012, I made a video called The Evolution of My Whip. And it was pretty much based on the idea that I started out not knowing how to whip. And then eventually, over time, I built a place to learn, I practiced, and I got good at it. And what I'm going to show you over the next 6 to 7 minutes is the timeline it took me to get there, the effort it took me to build it, and all of the changes that have happened to the compound over the years. What used to be known as KX125 Dude is now known as the MotoLab. And the MotoLab is exactly the best description of what we have going on today, a research center for motocross. So sit back, watch that video from 2012, I'm going to play it here in a second, and then once that one's over, I'm going to show you guys how I got to where I'm at right here. Hope you guys enjoy the next little bit of video. Leave a comment, hit that like button, and subscribe for more, because we're definitely not done yet.
Hey guys, Ryan here. In this video I'm going to be showing you a little bit of the evolution of my whip. How it started out, kind of give you a little bit of an image of where it's sitting now. I started out just like any other person, just, you know, trying to push the tire out, get it a little bit sideways, you know. Took a really long time for me to get it anywhere near where it is today. It wasn't something I focused on because I didn't race. I jumped. I like to ride trails. I was down to pretty much do anything on a bike, whether it be just riding around or whatnot. Started riding when I was about 6. Got my first bike when I was 12, 1998 KX125, or sorry, KX85, big wheel. And that bike, I rode the shit out of that bike. Ended up blowing the top end the year after I got it. Bought the KX125 in 2008 or 2007. And rode the shit out of that thing, and that's where the name KX125 Dude came from, and the devotion to Kawasaki. And then in 2010, I ended up buying the 250 as an upgrade. I've always wanted a 250, and it was just something I couldn't go without, so love the bike. This first whip coming up here, this was in 2008. This is when I first started actually jumping. That step up was so fun back in the day, and a pretty big jump for me back then too. So was this one. I ended up building this probably 2 to 3 weeks after I built that one, and spent most of my time on this. Yeah, that's what I called a whip back then. Kind of a little embarrassing nowadays, but you gotta start out somewhere. Like I said, practice. Here's another one. I think this is at the end of 2008. I'm not 100% sure on that, but as you can see back then, the run-up for the freestyle was a lot different. There was a hill in the way, and the rut was ridiculous. I freaking hated that rut. A little bit more sideways there, you know, not too impressive, honestly. Not impressive at all, actually, but I thought I was pretty ballin' back then, though. I was pretty high on the horse, being a little younger and all. Right there, I was trying to experiment with whipping the other way. It didn't go so well. I've only ever been able to whip to the right, can't whip to the left. I'm gonna probably start working on that next year. And once again, they're trying to whip it sideways, you know. This one, I actually put the camera in a tiny little tree and got a pretty good shot, honestly. That's pretty good for me back then. That was one of my better ones back then. And then this one was right after I built the ramp. I built the ramp in, I think, 09, summer 09. It's a little easier to whip off a ramp, so I won't give myself much credit for that one. This was right after I bought the 250, like, honestly, the second or third day I had the 250, I think, is when this was filmed. And I'm still getting used to that bike. That bike was, I love that bike. That bike's a shit. And then, this would have been late 2010, summer 2010. I actually think it was -5. This is in November. It was so cold, but we were wearing snowboard gear, you know, just rocking it hard. A little better, you know, not too impressive, but at least I'm getting her out there. This would have been, I think, mid-2010, a little more sideways, a little more high speed. The ramp's sitting at 60 feet, I think. Might be 50. I honestly can't remember. That was a while ago, and crazy summer. Notice the landing's a lot different than it is now, if you see my more recent videos. This is early 2012. A little more sideways, I'd say so myself. A little more controlled too. Brought it back, landed it perfect, and, you know, a little more clean. This next whip coming up here, it's late 2012. Kind of the same as before, except for almost complete 90, if not past a little bit. You know, it did come up a little short on the landing, but you know, it happens, right? I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a view of my ramp here. I was hitting it one day, just sessioning it for about, I don't know, a good hour and a half, and just felt like the center of it was a little more bouncy than it normally was, and I was starting to trip out about it. Like, nobody wants to hit their ramp instead of going up, go right through the damn thing and end up wrecking hard because of it. So decided I'd play her safe and check it over. And honestly, when it comes to motocross, safety probably comes first when it comes to most of the shit. Sometimes you throw it out the window just to do something crazy once in a while, but when it comes to a wooden ramp, you can never be too safe, in my opinion. I wouldn't use my ramp as a model to build your own, or, you know, you could take some of the design aspects, because it does work. It's not pretty. It is structurally sound. The amount of repairs I've done are only because of you know, nails coming loose or, you know, boards wearing out. Ever since, I've never had an accident where somebody got hurt because it broke.
Alright guys, I'm just going to fast forward through this part of this. Honestly, it was just me talking about my wooden ramp and how you shouldn't build a wooden ramp. We bought some metal ramps a while ago. This is the first metal ramp we had down here. And then Dustin Saib actually bought the next metal ramp, which you're going to see in a second here, on the left. And that was a game changer. So the metal ramps are definitely where it's at. If you can get a metal ramp, do it. You can build wooden ramps, but like you can see here, they break and they're sketchy. So just like definitely work on trying to find some metal ramps to ride on. If you can't find any metal ramps to ride on, possibly make one out of dirt first. Get used to hitting that really steep ramp out of dirt, and then move it over to wood and actually research a proper wooden setup if you're going to build it. It's very important that you make those strong. It's a very heavy bike hitting it fast. So what I'm going to leave you guys with the end of this video is an edit I made for a guy named Randy. I can't say his last name, so I'm not going to, but I'll link it down below. Anyways, the guy's only been whipping out here for 6 weeks. Never really ever hit a ramp before until he came out to the MotoLab. A perfect example of what happens when you put dedication into your sport. Here it is.
Some days there's no one else who loves me like you used to. Some days I'm not myself. There's no one I can turn to. All the feelings that we shared are in the past. Your relationships are never meant to last.